All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostle elders, the great millstone who grew well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shati from the Chicago camp. Coming back to what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And this is from Ecclesiasticus 29 and 21. And it says, the chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing and a house to cover shame. Now, as we've seen in the recent, I would say about a good month and a half, all right, the government's been cracking down as far as people giving government assistance to be able to afford food. Now, as you can see, the panic and hysteria going around, folks are trying to figure out what they're going to do for food. Because some people have received a partial portion of their SNAP benefits, while in many cases other people have not received SNAP benefits. And the government's talking about, well, for the month of December, you can probably, pretty much anybody on SNAP can count on not getting anything. All right, and you see the as I mentioned before, the panic and the hysteria, the frightened concern on these women and their children not having food. Now, to make matters worse, okay, the government's talking about ending the Section 8. Okay, I've seen a few videos, which we're going to get into, that now the government's talking about for December, all right, there's going to be a lot of Section 8 benefits that will not be going out. So you have a situation where not only are people struggling to get something to eat, that might have to take a backseat to being homeless. All right, and this is why I got this precept in Ecclesiasticus 29. Let me read it again. It says, the chief thing in life, for life, is water and bread and clothing and a house to cover shame. So basically having food, water, clothes, and a house. And food has been taken away, and now housing is about to be taken away. So we're going to play these two videos, and then we'll get some more scriptures.
Y'all crying now about them food stamps, EBT or whatever you want to call it. But wait until they hit you with them Section 8, okay? Because Section 8 and food stamps is two different beasts, all right? You probably can go to the food pantry with the food stamps and get yourself some food probably for the month or something like that. But let me tell you something. When they shut off that Section 8, that's messing with everybody's money. Not only the people who's received Section 8, but when they don't receive Section 8, they can't pay their landlord. And their landlord have to pay other people. So when you stop paying the landlord, you leave the landlord no other choice but to rent to somebody who can pay the rent. You understand? I know too many people who also have rental property that rent their property out to the government. What's going to happen to them when they can't receive? Some of those people got mortgage to pay. They just only use the opportunity to rent their property out to the government. What's going to happen? When they don't receive their money, they got to pay their mortgage. They wasn't expecting that. And I know a lot of people who's made a life of just buying property and renting it out to the government and having the government to pay them for Section 8. What happens when all of that stops? What can they do? So Section 8 is a whole different beast. So you better hold on to something right now, because let me tell you something. When they start messing with that Section 8, And I understand. I understand because I really do believe that people need to divorce these government programs, because you see how is it going. And I understand economics a lot, why they have to do certain things, because too many people got their hands in the pot, okay? And that's what's messing up the system right now. I understand how it goes, okay? But I'm just saying, when they hit that, when they start on that Section 8, that's gonna hurt a lot of people, okay? Not just the recipient, the people who's getting the Section 8, but we're talking about the landlords, we're talking about investors, we're talking about a whole lot of people who's not going to get paid by the government starting January. Think about it.
Hey y'all, if you're a mom and you're on the housing choice voucher, you want to stay here and listen to me. My neighbor just received a letter. I seen the letter personally. That there is no fund for the Section 8 voucher. Her voucher will end in December. This ain't a game, y'all. This is really happening. She got a letter stating her Section 8 voucher is ending in December because there is no funding. Y'all, if you have the Section 8 voucher, if you're on that program, get your shit together. I don't know what we need to do. We need to band together, live with family, save your money up. I don't know, but something has to be done before the world goes to fucking shits, you know? I'm not sure if this is something that she's gotten because of the government shutdown or if the funding is really not there. But y'all, she has until December to move or pay full rent. Be safe out there, y'all. We're canceling motherfucking Christmas. Peace, love, and hair grease. Bye.
All right. So now we have a situation here where a lot of people are going to be out in the cold. A lot of people are going to be homeless this holiday season. There will be nothing holly or jolly about this time of the year, because folks are going to be hungry and homeless. And see, a lot of people didn't think about this when the government shut down, when they said that the government was going to be shutting down. All right, everybody was so focused on, oh my goodness, traveling and passports, and yeah, those are some aspects of it. But now folks are truly seeing the what's going to be the very harsh reality of this government shutdown. Okay, not having not having TSA agents or the people in the towers, the flight control towers, okay, delaying passports. That's the least of the problems that are going to be happening here in Babylon the Snake. Folks are going to be homeless. Folks are going to be hungry, okay, and this is going to have a ripple effect in the real estate market. Okay, we already have, Vanguard, State Street, and BlackRock buying up all the homes throughout the entire United States. This is going to be something that's going to further hurt the real estate market, as you just heard. And I'm sure we all know folks who have rental properties and they rent out to Section 8. So what are these people going to do to make up for the money that they receive for these rental properties, and the majority of their clientele is Section 8? Like, how will they be able to recover these funds? Okay, what are many of you women are going to do when you're faced with not only not having food, but you're going to be on the verge of being homeless? Okay, Babylon is in a true state of decay right now. And the scripture tells us that, and what's that, Jeremiah 50 or 51? Let me see. Jeremiah 51 and 7. It says, Babylon hath been a golden cup in Yahweh's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Okay, and why has Babylon been that golden cup? Because the Lord set it up to be that way in the final days. Okay, the Lord set Babylon up to be that place where everybody could make money and be rich and be prosperous and just be a place where everybody could so-called live good. Okay, but with that, people got lost. People traded love, God, family, a more upright conduct for money, self, and pride. And it says the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Right, because many people believed in the American dream and many other philosophies that America offers to anyone that wants to come here. And then now we're living in the time where they see that that dream was false. And now folks don't know what to do. As I said, now we have another situation where folks are going to be homeless this holiday season. And I'm sure many of these people have burned a lot of bridges in their time. Okay? Many people have ruined relationships that in a time like this, they probably would be able to go to these folks and get help. And you have situations where folks will be homeless and the people that want to help them won't be able to help them because they're going to be struggling along with them. And it says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. Right? This place is done. Okay? All the fractional reserve lending, all the bogus draconian legislation, the purposeful and calculated man-made crises that the American public is going through, especially this one we have with this government shutdown. Right? This place is totally done. Okay? It's no way for this place to come back. It doesn't matter how much, it doesn't matter if this economy and the moral conduct of this country does a complete 180. It is nothing that these people can do in Babylon to save it. And it says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. It says, forsake her and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Right? Because as I mentioned earlier, to be prosperous in Babylon the snake here in America, it came with the compromising of a person's soul. And you have to remember, as the scripture said, what is it, profit a man? Was that Mark or Matthew? Matthew 16 and 26. And it says, for what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Because we have to remember the scripture also says that a gift destroyeth the heart. Okay? And this gift has come in many forms here in Babylon the snake. And unfortunately, it's for many people, it's been the handouts of the government. SNAP, and in this sit down's case, Section 8. Okay, many people have sold their souls to live deliciously in Babylon, live carefree, without worries, to live out of order. They wanted to join a system that promotes laziness, whoredom, and immoral behavior. And now we're in a time where people are now reaping the consequences of making a deal with the damn devil. Okay, going back to that Jeremiah 51:9, it says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into her own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even into the skies. Yes, as I mentioned, now people are reaping the consequences of making a deal with the devil. Okay, especially you women. Many of you women have forsaken the protection of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which is your man. Okay, when you look at the order of things, it tells you, I believe that's in 2 Corinthians. I can't remember where it is. I believe it's in 2 Corinthians. Could be one. No, it's in 1st. That's why I got to make sure we do these right. 1 Corinthians 11:3. It says, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Hamashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Hamashiach is Yahweh. Okay, so right here we have the order of how things are going to be. Okay, and who is our protection? Who's the person that we need to look to for our protection? And it clearly says here that the head of the woman is the man, the leader. Let's actually get that, the head. In 1 Corinthians 11:3. Kafali. The head, both of men and often of animals, since the loss of it. Okay, it probably means that in a literal sense. Metaphorically, here, anything supreme, chief, prominent, of persons, masters, Lord. Didn't Abraham's wife call him Lord? All right. Of persons, master, Lord, of a husband in relation to his wife, of Hamashiach, the Lord of the husband and of the church, of things, the cornerstone. All right. So when it says the head of the woman is the man, it's talking about basically everything. Your leader, your provider, your protector, your everything. And many of you women have forsaken your everything because you felt that you didn't need the man. You all felt like you did not need to be in order. And so Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is sending judgment on many of you women in the form of the government taking away the, as the scripture says, the teats. As they say, you shall lament for the teats, because you all have taken advantage of a situation that was not meant to last forever. It's in Isaiah 32. I'm gonna start at I'm gonna just go straight to the point. It says Isaiah 32:12. It says, they shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Now you got all these women on Instagram and TikTok. What are we gonna do? Hey y'all, I saw the letter myself. See, the men of the Lord have been telling you all that many of you women need to get right. because the time is going to come where you will have to be held accountable for being rebellious. And now you women realize you're in a situation that is extremely dire. And that's not exaggerated. Many of you women are in a situation that's extremely dire. And you have no hedge, no protection, no leader, as we read in that definition. No leader, no chief. And we all know the scripture tells us in the Apocrypha, Ecclesiasticus 36:25, it says, where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. And he that have no wife will wander up and down mourning. But the point is, it says where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. Now we can't look that up in the blue letter, but what we will do is we'll just get the definition of hedge in general. Okay, hedge. And we're going to go to definition 2, okay? Because that's the one that that's the one we want. We don't mean like a literal hedge, as in the first definition, like bushes or shrubbery. Okay, definition 2, a barrier, often consisting of a line of persons or objects to protect someone or something from harm. So where there is no barrier to protect you from harm, the possession is spoiled. And as we just read in that Corinthians, what is a woman's covering? What is the order for her? She needs to be up under a man. Many of you women have forsaken this. And because of this, now trouble literally is at your doorstep, waiting to kick you out in the cold. And as the scripture says, hey, when all these bad things happen, you better pray that your flight is not in the winter. We're in the winter. And it's supposedly going to be one hell of a cold winter. You sisters of the tribes, you better get right, because there are a lot of women that are going to try to be reaching back, talking about, hey, big head, hey, stranger, what you doing? And they ain't going to get no response. Humble down, sisters. Get right with the Lord while you still have time. So this went on a little longer than what I expected, but nonetheless, I hope you all were edified. To the next time, we're going to say shalom.